Hello, we are here for another Charge and Guard playtest, version 1.1, because we've been playing around with the dice. I'm Mads, she, they pronouns. If you haven't been here before and watched the other playtests, then please go back and watch some of the other videos, because they're cool. Um, and that's not just me saying it. So like, love the premise of this game, which I will go through when I go through the Cats review. And just had a few playtests so far, and again, the creativity of like all the different settings and all the different duets that I've been able to play with have been awesome. So yeah, I expect yet another one with Mike here. Mike, introduce yourself.
My name's Mike, he, him. I've We just finished wrapping up Stars and Suns, another big campaign on your channel, and I'm here to help playtest. Uh, we were talking before the recording started about a couple of different genres we might cover, but maybe we can settle on something after the cats.
Perfect. All right, so let me go ahead and just review as always, just in case anybody is new here. So, CAT stands for Concept, Aim, Tone, and Subject Matter. It just sets up expectations for those of us that are getting ready to play. So this way we will hopefully remain on the same page and just like not veer too much from our goals for the particular session. Okay. And there are also playtest notes from Mare, the creator of this game. Okay. Please use safety tools, communicate with your scene partner, and play with someone you trust. Please protect yourself and take breaks if needed, even if it means ending the game early. If this game isn't for you or begins to wander into territory you aren't comfortable with, please don't feel obligated to finish for the sake of a playtest. Your well being is more important to me than getting feedback. There will be a full safety section in the final version. So that's lovely. And we're just going to supplement it by again going through our Cats review. Concept: Charge and Guard is a tabletop role playing game for 1 to 2 players where you explore the relationship of a protector knight guard and their ward slash charge while navigating social and physical threats to your relationship. But in the end, the hardships of both your dangerous lives lead to tragedy, and you will not be able to spend your lives together. Aim: This game is about exploring the relationship between the characters as they navigate the dangers of the world before succumbing to those dangers. Tone: Depending on the setting which would be agreed upon in character creation, the tone could vary from dramatic to action-packed, with occasional comedy notes in between. But remember, the characters' lives are led dangerously or in dangerous circumstances, ending in eventual tragedy. Play, knowing these characters will not be able to spend their lives together. Subject matter: This can go into any setting: traditional with knight noble, modern day with bodyguard heir, casual with 2 best friends. Play what brings out your joy, but there will be threats to your relationship, whether they be social or physical. There is possibility for ostracization, public humiliation, mental, emotional, physical bullying, assassination, poison, animal attacks, criminal activities, just to name a few. So, with that, we have a character keeper that I've added a safety tab to, and this includes our part of our safety tools, which is lines and veils. Go through that first. Lines are, of course, not to be mentioned at all, not part of the game world that we will be existing in. And veils are things that could be mentioned and do exist, but we are not going to go into depth and role play it, and we will fade to black. Okay. Um, so, Mike, if you've already had a chance to do all these things, yeah, don't mind some of the things that like are left there. I'm not sure why the notes are still in there. Um, that's from like previous playtests that I hadn't wiped out
Mm,
yet completely. But yes, if you've finished putting in your lines and veils,
I
that's
have.
cool. Like we'll yeah go through all those. But the other safety tools on tap are open door. So if this isn't the game for you, then you can open door. Um, or if you just have to step away from the scene, or you have to step away for a few minutes for whatever reason because of real life, that's fine. Just let me know, like if there's, if you're coming back and how long, or not at all. That's fine too. And I also have the ability to step away as well. Okay. X card. If something is objectionable in an unfun way, that is when we would say out loud X card or make an X in the video or, put X in the chat just to know to stop play and to just kind of check in what needs to be X carded, taken out of the game completely, and then move on. We will never ask why something needs to be X carded. Okay? And script change. Script change allows us some different tools that are quite similar. And pause, of course, is to kind of call a halt to what's going on, especially if it verges into territory which we're kind of like, we probably should check in. Is this still okay? And then we would move on from there. Fast forward would be if, nah, we don't really want to role play this. We don't have to, do anything extensive with it. Let's just go move forward, ahead, some time. And then, of course, rewind if it seems like, no, I don't know if I want that to happen or something. Like maybe we should just rewind to maybe a scene back and then kind of assess and then try a different direction, maybe. So we have those tools on tap. So for lines, we have child sexual abuse, harm to children, harm to pregnant people, homophobia, transphobia, intimate partner violence, racism, sexual assault, sexual violence, and slurs. For veils, we have cannibalism, drug abuse, graphic injuries and gore, kink, BDSM, sexual content, suicide, and torture. There is also an ask first here, but we didn't have a marking on that. And then there is a relationship matrix because of the nature of the relationship that we're going to be exploring. So romance with PCs, Mike said ask first, and I'm always a yes for both romance with PCs and NPCs, and Mike is of course ask first. So that's fine. Okay. And again, depending on the characters, it may not even come into play, but it just makes sure that it's out on the table just to start.
Mhm.
So, all right. This game is played in a series of scenes. There's some activation with some dice rolling involved before and after each scene, but I'll get into that after we do the character creation and world building. Okay?
Okay.
So, we will discuss and answer questions together. So, what type of setting are we deciding to play in? That's
Oh,
important.
all right. Hmm. So, I think we could probably leave the sci-fi off since it's not a genre we both feel strongly about for this sort of setting.
Yeah.
So then we have the two remaining options of Weird West and Mad Max post-apocalypse dystopia. Do
I
you have a
mean, did
preference?
do well, did do zombie apocalypse earlier.
Weird West it is.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, go ahead and type that in if you want. Now we get to identify what kind of dangers are there in the world. Um,
Hmm.
oh, and do we have a specific time period for Weird West? Are we thinking around the same time as Victorian England, but just in America, obviously, and then just weird shit happening out west,
Hmm.
or more modern times? What are we thinking?
I was floating the idea of just like a 1980s Weird West where you still have like your Marshall and your ghost cowboys and stuff, but maybe there are people going around on motorcycles or like bandits going around on pickup trucks.
I like it. Okay,
All
go
right.
for that. Yep. Let's go ahead and type that in. So, yeah, big hair and even bigger shoulders.
Yes. All right. All right.
But anyway, dangers. So, go ahead and put in the bandits and pickup trucks and
Let's see. Okay. So,
gangs on motorbikes, I suppose. What else?
um,
Are we thinking? Oh God, what am I trying to say? Local law could be a danger, possible danger.
Yeah, I think I think local politics would be good.
Yeah, local politics, local law.
Okay. I have skeletal banditos, roiling soulstorms, harpy covens, and local politics,
Oh wow.
which are all equivalent threats. Um, hmm, what what are other big biker gang?
Oh, and just to help like with this, remember that the two kinds of threats that are available in this game are social and physical.
Hmm. Okay.
I love the rolling soulstorms idea. What
I
else?
think politics. Period. So that's national, local. Um.
Physical.
What else?
Environmental is like soulstorms, of course, but what else?
What?
What kind of vehicles do we have available to us?
It's the 80s. We could get just like an old Camry. We could get a pickup truck,
Mm.
motorcycles. Uh, I
So
think
mode of
the
transport could be difficult if we get waylaid or um
I think the big storms would prevent like flight being an option.
okay.
I think that we're stuck strictly to travel on the ground for
Okay.
this. The Fairy Biker Gang would be one.
Mm,
Sort
mm.
of Harley Davidson meets the Wild Hunt.
Um natural obstacles
Natural obstacles.
like canyons or um
I mean, rivers in
river
general.
rising. Yeah.
Okay. Rivers, canyons. There's got canyons with rickety bridges.
Mm-hmm. That's fun.
Okay. Flooding rivers. Hmm.
Social. What kind of social dangers would we have?
We already have the government, whether it's like just a local uppity sheriff or maybe something more national.
Yeah.
We haven't covered like an expansionist kind of thing, sort of like the railway barons of like OG Wild West.
Hmm. So we're thinking like kind of corporate, but I don't know how else to describe it.
I,
Like the
I
wealthy.
maybe we also haven't covered like Indian reservations and like the lands of native
protected
peoples. You protect,
protected territories.
yeah, because there might be an interesting contention there, especially if the Weird West part is just where like the expansion stopped,
Mm.
and then there are people who are still trying to push into there.
Mm. It's a lot. I mean,
It
like
is
it
a
could
lot.
be. Yeah. I mean, I think we could go with just what we have right now. I mean, like, and just make it really, really fantastical. And, pardon,
Okay.
knowing that it's still somehow running in parallel with all of our technology.
Oh man.
Because remember, now we have to use, like, payphones and shit. No
Yes,
smartphones.
that was the hope. The hope is that we're not quite like stuck with understanding Morse code with a telegraph, but you have that image of just the isolated payphone on the side of this dusty highway.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's decide who will be the charge and who will be the guard.
All right. Um, which one have you played more of?
Oh, poop. Hold on. Let me take a look. All right. Guard, charge, 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 charge.
Okay.
So I've
So
played mostly the charge, which
then,
is
since
funny.
this is a playtest, you can be the guard. I will be the charge.
Okay. Alrighty. So we will go through each of these things in turn, and we will do them together because we found that that has been the most successful in helping us really not only like expand the world building, but also to help create the characters.
Mm.
All right, so we're gonna take, we're gonna alternate, each question. So your question is, why are you important? Hmm.
Mm. Let's
In this
see.
weird landscape that we find ourselves in.
Has to be important enough that we are willing to risk going from East Coast to West Coast.
Yeah.
I am good to say just like dangerous criminal that like needs to be put away. I'm a key witness. I am key like criminal witness, I guess would be something we could try.
So do you think you are more dangerous while armed, or I'm trying to get it, like, I mean, we're not even going to go through like what the hell you look like just yet, but I mean, do you consider yourself more of a physical criminal or like a corporate slash brains of the organization kind of criminal?
Uh I think brains will work just to keep the guard as being the one who's more physically present.
Okay. Okay.
So, key witness to a criminal enterprise.
There you go. Ooh. Oh, God. How did I become the charge's protector? Chosen or designated yourself? Um, let's make things fun. So, I think I was chosen to be one of the guards, one of the escorts, but no one knew you and I had known each other previously. Where I had worked for a legitimate arm of your family's business, a rival's family's business. What do you think?
So, you're saying that you got assigned. We
Yes.
used to work together.
Yes. Or like, either on like the same side of the table or opposite sides. Like, I've been known for security guard work and all this kind of stuff, but working for a legitimate arm of this organization.
I think you went straight. I think you used to be part of the business. You walked away at the right time while I decided to dig in deeper.
Okay. Criminal activities. Okay. Why do you need someone to protect you?
Said criminal enterprises put a hit out on me.
Okay, there you go.
And the safest place for me is the hypermax prison on the other side of the country.
Okay. Because they can't goddamn make it easy to have you nearby the other prison in the first place. That's
Mm-hmm.
funny. Okay. How do you best protect them? Knowledge of where to go. Who to go to. Who to connect with. And what to drive in certain circumstances. Yeah. I mean, like, it's just lots of knowledge and experience on this kind of run. Maybe
Mm.
maybe this is not the first time that I've done this.
Ooh, all
Like this
right.
is the first time. Okay, hold on. Not the first time I've been an escort, an armed escort, but first time I've known the prisoner, witness.
Principal.
Yeah. Okay.
You've done it before, but now the stakes are personal. All right.
I don't know. Well, we'll find out in the next few questions. What is the one thing that endears you to your actor?
Nostalgia.
mm, okay.
Come on, it's me. We were friends for the longest time. We had such good memories. If
Okay.
only things could be that way again.
Oh man, you just really want to pile it on. Okay. What motivates you to protect your charge other than obligation? Oh man. Did I like you? That's the question. Do you think there was a relative or somebody that we mutually knew that we like kind of ties us back together, right? I mean, like I went legit, but you stayed. But
Say
they
adoptive parent.
oh shit. I mean, in a way it is kind of still obligation, but a different kind. Who doted on both of us.
We're family.
God, do you
There
not
we
want to turn
go.
this into Fast and the Furious? No, we're not turning it into Fast and the Furious.
No, we're not. We're not. But family is, especially in this sort of like the departed sense of like, okay, we won't turn to Fast and the Furious.
No, please don't. Okay, so we're saying that we're adopted siblings? Is that what we're saying? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put this in the middle here. Adopted siblings. Yeah, this is a different take, so I like it. All right. Okay.
I think that adoptive parent was a criminal, probably like in the know with the family.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So we're family, and they were in the family. Okay. So get to the fun part. Who are you, and what do you look like?
What did I do for these people?
I mean, if you're saying that you're like all businessy and like kind of brainsy, I mean, like, what do you think? I mean, like, were you the tech person? I mean, if we're still thinking 80s or some kind of alternative universe, I don't care. I mean, like, were you
Am
the tech
I
person? Were you the money person? Were you the guy? You had to be the guy, like, either in a suit or like not, with all of the armor, because you were the guy behind the scenes and shit. Although if it turns out that you were, oh God, what was the head of the A team's name?
Oh,
Was it Hannibal? Like
yes.
if it turns out you were Hannibal all along, I'm gonna be mad.
No, no, no. I think I'm dressed like an 80s investment banker.
Oh
Slicked
God.
back hair, the blue shirt, the blue collared shirt, the suspenders, like
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. And then you have to figure out like the okay. Yeah. So go ahead and figure out your name.
Okay.
And then who am I and what do I look like? I mean, we probably have different names because we didn't like nobody else knew that we knew each other or what have you.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Oh, you're gonna
My
hate me for this.
My guard is Amelia Gray. Mm.
Asher Stone.
Oh my god.
I have
Two.
slicked back hair, a double-breasted suit, striped suspenders, a gold pinky ring, a gold wristwatch, and a gold chain link bracelet.
Wow.
I am channeling Gordon Gecko so strongly right now.
God. All right. Okay. So, again, this game is played in a series of scenes, and we will roll to see what the threat is that we're dealing in the particular scene. So whichever roll is highest determines the type of threat to navigate in the following scene. If both dice are the same, we roll again. Play out the scene whatever way works out for you. Deal with the threat itself, or work through the aftermath in a heartfelt conversation. A scene does not always need to be the guard protecting the charge. Remember, it's about exploring their relationship through these threats. So, are we assuming first that to keep it stealthy, keep it quiet, that I just have you kind of behind the what's the word, the mesh panel, like you're in the back seat behind the mesh panel?
Oh, we're in a whole cruiser. Okay.
Well, I'm asking. I mean, like, like are we being that obvious about it, or are we just being in an unmarked van with that has kind of like armor plating to it and like certain things? But you are still a prisoner. You are still.
I'm still a prisoner. I understand. Yeah, I think heavily armored unmarked van works.
Okay. So yeah, we've been given or I've been given the order, and they know that have gotten the training, and I've done these runs before. This one could be a little bit different because you are high profile, but not. You look like every other, suit stiff that people have seen. I mean, like, people
It's the
go
80s.
bankrupt. People go bankrupt. People, have these high status whatevers. But I think those shady organization people need you dead. So they put a hit out on you, and they found out somehow the information of where you were going to be transported.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's probably like a somebody in the higher ups that definitely wants you dead, and that's why they know it's our particular van that's going cross country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you want to roll the social roll or the physical roll? We will start with a d4. Do you need a dice roll, or do you have the dice in front of you?
I have the dice in front of me.
Perfect. Okay. Do you want to roll social, or do you want to roll physical?
I will roll social.
All right. Get ready. And roll.
3.
Me too. Let's roll again.
1.
4. All right.
Okay.
Physical first. Okay. So I imagine the first threat will be to the van itself. This will be where we are going to have to figure out other ways to get going.
Okay.
What kind of now you are a prisoner, of course, but you are not necessarily shackled. Let's just assume we have just a little bit more technology than is readily available to local law enforcement. So what do you imagine you are in? Like, do you figure yourself in some kind of fancy handcuffs or like a ankle cuff? What do you think? To make sure that you don't get away.
Handcuffs, ankle cuffs, and then the chain that runs between them.
Mm, mm. Okay. So just before this the inciting incident happens, it's like maybe you're talking like in the back, and I'm driving in the front. What kind of fancy banter are you trying to pull on me? I mean, do you recognize me like right off the bat, or
Of
like?
course I do.
Uh-huh. Okay. Go
Are
ahead.
we there yet?
We've barely passed the state line,
Are
Mr.
we there yet?
Stone.
I'm just saying the cuffs are a bit tight. You could let them loose just a bit. Well, I'm going to jump out of the van while you're driving at what, 40, 60? Come on.
Oh, are you upset because the cuffs and chains don't look well with your suit?
Honestly, they don't. I would say that chrome is a bit gauche compared to the gold that I have. But if we manage to stop by a men's warehouse, I could get a new suit. Maybe get something for you that fits better than whatever drab uniform they have you in now.
That's okay. And I didn't think that you were one to get things off of the rack, sir.
Well, if you wouldn't mind at least a little bit of a delay, I'm sure that the in house tailor could probably work on something. Or I could call ahead. Surely. Oh, right. No car phone.
No, no car phone. Got a walkie-talkie right back to the other station.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm a little up to a CB radio.
Just make yourself comfortable. We won't hit the next stop for another 50 miles.
50. I have to stretch my legs. I have to do push ups or something to not get so tense.
I'm sorry I took you away from your spa appointment. No, I'm not.
No, of course you're not. So dutiful. It's almost sickening if it hadn't worked out so well for you.
Jealous.
Eh, jealousy implies that there's a higher status going on between you and me, and not really, no. I mean, you've been gunning for a desk job for how long now? Or do you enjoy going out and doing these milk runs, ferrying people who don't appreciate you? You can make so much more on the other side, you know.
I know. And with possibly more bullets in my back than cash.
Mm, but you're too smart for that. Come on, Amelia. Sorry, Officer Gray. You're skilled. You are master of the craft. And you also have the keys that would loosen this a little bit. I'm just saying, you know.
And still a master at that silver tongue. Aren't you glad that I don't fall for that?
Thank goodness. Can you imagine? Any other guard, I could probably have them let me go. I could make an excuse about going to the bathroom and then make my way.
Oh, no, no. If it was anybody else, they'd probably go in with you. As it is, I think I'm going to have to go in with you, too.
No, I please. We haven't done that since we were children. That's a bit gauche.
Just saying. And I think this is where, like, she has a smile on her face. You're, like, still, like, still palavering in the back. But then there's a distinct shot. And, like, it rings out very near the car. And I think this is where she looks in the back seat. I mean, the rearview mirror. And then she sees that there's a car following. And someone coming out from the side and, taking pot shots at us. Shit. What the fuck? And then like some car maneuvering and all this kind of stuff. And I think they do get one of the tires. Um and we're like on a lonely stretch of road right
Mm-hmm.
now. I mean, like there's embankments off to the side and like, leading into forests, and then of course just this like long ass stretch of highway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shouldn't be surprised.
The hell you mean you should be surprised? Thought you had top men doing the whole security thing. Although I guess it goes to show that everybody has a price.
Yes, it does. And you, from this, have a price on your head, Mr. Stone.
Yeah, no shit. So are you gonna let me go or not?
No,
What? My my life is on the line here. Unless you're
and
throwing me
so's
over
mine.
your bulky shoulders while you do this.
Sure, absolutely. And then anyway, like so the car careens out of control. I think I think we like, she manages to bring it to a bit of a stop. Um but, the car starts to slow down like behind us, and she immediately grabs like what do they call it? Like the emergency bag or whatever out from underneath the seat, and then she will drag your ass out from the back, and she will say, "What time do you have?"
Uh, it's 6:30.
All right, and she kind of like flips her wrist up to look at the clock, and all right, start running.
I will waddle as best I can with my ankle handcuffs and my actual handcuffs and the chain between.
Right, right, right. Well, I mean, like, she kind of like, does like a quick release kind of thing, so it allows you a little bit more purchase to move, to move quicker, and and then she will proceed to run past you, dragging you along, and then like, in 30 seconds, it's like, the car goes off.
Okay.
I mean, this is implausible. It doesn't
No,
matter. We're
no,
exploring
you're in an 80s
relationships.
action movie. All right.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Any sign of them?
No, but we are going to keep moving until we don't.
Fine by me.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of try to waddle through the underbrush with this chain.
And I think we can close out the physical part of the scene for right now, but we
Mm-hmm.
can go like, as we're making our way through the brush or whatever. We don't necessarily hear anything except for the crisping of the vehicle. And yeah, you're really not dressed for this, are you? Hmm. Okay,
No,
fine. Do you think you can if I release you to change, do you think you can get into a onesie quick time?
you are not getting me to wear one of those dreadful orange jumpsuits.
Not orange.
Oh, thank
Although
God.
if hunting season's like, still up, then maybe you will need one. But no, this is a plain one.
Fine.
And she tosses you the like one of the inner bags. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just know, and then she whips out from her thigh holster. It's like, and then like does that flourish thing. It's like, just know, click, that once I release you and you start running, I'm gonna have start to do target practice.
Message received.
Okay?
I'll
And she'll
go and I'll change.
yeah, she'll release your your bonds, but like the gun is trained upon you as soon as she, you know, releases your shackles and stuff.
Certainly hope you're a better shot than you were when you were a kid. I know those squirrels didn't stand a chance, but, well, I'm sure that the hitmen are probably going to be a little bit harder of a mark. Is this really a one size fits all? It's way too baggy.
It looks great on you.
Thanks. Ugh.
Shows how how skinnily weak you are. It's great.
Ugh, I could stand to go for more runs. It's just not in style. I don't need to build shoulders when I can just wear big shoulder pads.
It still needs the support though.
Ugh,
Wouldn't hurt you.
yes,
Whereas
I'm
whereas she looks like a CrossFit athlete, kind of thing.
not all of us are built like a brick house. Now, are we just going to sit here and chat in the middle of the woods until hunting season kicks on, or are you gonna take us somewhere?
I know of a place. Let's
Thank
go.
God.
Alrighty. So, the way this works is that whomever won the dice roll from the previous scene will raise up a tier and then roll for that particular die, and then the other one remains at the die tier that it was. So you would still roll a d4, and I would go up to a d6.
So, game design question then.
Mm-hmm.
So, the one who determines the conflict is the one who wins the die roll, correct?
Like whichever one is the winning die roll from.
Whichever one rolls higher,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
which means that from a game balance perspective, whoever wins that first one has a greater likelihood of directing the rolls in that direction from then on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
I mean
seems
that's what it's turned out to be, unless by some accident that the person with the higher die tier like rolls low, which has happened. But I mean, like I've changed it up a bit where if there's been two or three of the same consistent threat, then the other one gets to move up a tier just to be within range of the winning die.
okay. So there are accommodations to prevent that
Like
sort of thing.
I've provided that accommodation just because it's like there's no way a D4 is eventually going to beat out a D10, right?
No,
So I mean, like trying to
mathematics.
stay within a tier of the break would be good, I
Mhm.
think. All
Yeah.
right, so you roll a D4 and I will roll a D6.
Okay.
We'll see what we get.
One.
God, get a new die.
Why
Don't worry, you'll.
I get to play him as a whiny chatterbox because all of the conflicts are physical and it's not his wheelhouse.
Right. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, you're gonna get to raise in the next die roll, so no worries.
Okay, so we're in the woods. It's Weird West.
Yep.
So there's something that's clearly living in these woods, probably.
Probably. Probably. What would you say is like that we encounter?
Ooh, Weird West. Sasquatch, werewolf. Uh, ooh, werewolf hunting ground. Let's go for that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And I don't have to play like a lot of physical stuff. I mean, like, we could go straight to the "oh my god, we survived" kind of thing. So we'll narrate the initial, like, "oh my god, what the hell did we get ourselves into" part, and then we will like go to the heartfelt conversation afterwards. God damn.
Oh, so how does that work? The because we've sort of dealt with the threat, the immediate threat of
Hmm.
van broken down,
Hmm. Yeah.
and we need to make our way. So does that mean we have the heartfelt conversation then, or
Well, because we rolled for physical this time, like we're gonna do the physical threat, but like more of a narration. So this way we can go to a heartfelt conversation afterwards.
okay?
Okay. I mean, I'm playing very loosey goosey because these rules are very loosey goosey. So I want like different scenes. Okay.
Mhm.
So physically, like what ends up happening is it's like I think the next connection point leads us to our contact, so this way she can try and get a new vehicle. But then I think we fall into the trap of um do you think we meet up with the werewolves as we're getting the new vehicle, or do you think we meet them afterwards when we have the new vehicle?
as we're getting the vehicle. I think everything seems hunky dory with your contact, and then maybe the contact owed something to these werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
And that deal goes south, and we get caught in the crossfire. We just no harm to your contact. I just want to get out of here.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's just where maybe, yeah, maybe the contact owed something to the local wares, and it is a full moon out, damn it, and so I think he comes clean, and then we have to book it out of there
Mm-hmm.
immediately. And I think it's a race against these silhouetted dire wolf like things, behind us, and we can hear the howling, as we make our way. And this is not the newest vehicle, so we get away with a clatter, and it's almost like we have to do the build up, right? It's not 0 to 60 in like however many
This is
seconds.
an
It's
old junker pickup truck
sure,
that we
exactly,
got from
exactly.
your contact.
Yeah. Hey, it's what's needed to get us the hell out. I mean, the van had to be blown up. We didn't want whomever to get any of the tech that was in there.
Okay.
But
So we need to face off against these werewolves, or narratively, because we're in the car, we eventually pull away.
yeah, we eventually pull away. I'm like, physical threats. It's like, what could be threatening to us physically. I mean, we could conceivably play it off where, like, I fight, but I think we're still in the early mode of like, okay, where do we like start reminiscing or like, falling into different patterns. So physical just kind of to me means we push into exploring our relationship after that. So do
Mm.
you think that you or I get hurt as we're getting away?
Oh, you get hurt.
Okay. Shit. Getting through that fence tore me up a little.
You need to pull over.
We're not out of the woods yet. Literally, we're not out.
Okay, well then at least stretch out your arm so I can look at it and maybe do something.
Fine. And then she kind of rests her driving arm on the, you know, on the window, and then she'll kind of like not look. She'll like be watching very carefully on the road, and then she'll like outstretch her arm to you.
God, they're like tree trunks. Are you kidding me? What do you do? Curl horses?
If they're available.
All right. Uh, there's a med kit underneath the seat, so I'm gonna just get to work. A little bit of antiseptic, a little bit of yeah,
Watch
yeah.
it.
You watch the road.
Trying.
Definitely a bit of role reversal here, though. Remember, you used to be the one to bandage me up.
Well, he kept on getting beaten up.
Well, not my fault that they couldn't face a decent argument.
I. Nothing.
What? Not nothing. It's gonna be a long trip unless you start talking, so you might as well say something.
Oh, that's true, because otherwise you're going to keep talking, aren't you?
Damn straight. Again, one of the wonderful reasons why you had to patch me up. So, what's up?
No, just thinking. Just I had to stand up for you then, and kind of standing up for you now, huh?
Ain't no kinda about it. Hitmen and werewolves in the same night, too. Goes beyond duty, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would have thought just doing the pit stops at the security motels would have been enough, but evidently that wasn't in the plan.
Mm.
would be great if I knew who the hell the fucking Stoolie was, though.
Stuff like this, would it really even matter? Someone
Yeah, because
squealed. That's it. Why? Do you want to go and turn around and give him a piece of your mind in a very literal sense?
no, no. If anything, it's like I'd prefer that you gave them a piece of your mind. But
And boy, would I.
are you done yet? Can I move my arm?
Oh, yeah. Here's your arm. One piece.
Thank you.
Couple of those new, like, fadey stitches. You should be fine after a bit.
Okay. Gonna have to drive a little bit further along and then hopefully find a safer contact than that was.
Or we could just take turns driving.
You can't be serious.
You need to sleep, and I can think of nothing safer when we're being chased than keeping on the move. What am I going to do? I'm sure I have so many friends here in the Wild West.
I mean, I don't know what kind of contacts that you made over the years.
I was an investment banker, for Christ's sake. I laundered money. I didn't really get around and chat with the locals when it came to figuring out who imported what to where.
That's true. They would have sold you off, you and your watch, like as soon as they saw you, I bet.
Yeah, they definitely would have. I'm terrible at that sort of thing. That's why we had intermediaries for all that.
No, it's because you wanted to be such a fashion plate that you didn't want to get in your grubbies and, you know, talk with. You always wanted to talk down.
Nona said that we were meant for greater things, picking up a couple strays like us, raising us the way she did. You're the one who decided to go and hang out with Gen Pop. Though, guess I'm not in much of a position to change that either. In a couple of days, at least.
Are you sorry? Are you sorry that I left?
Do I feel bad about it? No. You're a grown ass woman. You can make your own damn decisions.
And you're a grown ass man and you definitely made yours.
Did I miss having someone I could count on through thick or thin, regardless of what my silver tongue said or whatever trouble I found myself in? Yeah. That old adage of it's hard to find good help these days is really true.
Is that all it was? The help? And she's not looking at you. She's still staring at the road.
No, you are an esteemed colleague from the family, one with a long history and a long lineage of kicking ass and taking names. You are my friend, and you decided that some things weren't worth taking a risk on. No fault, it was just a matter of checks and balances. Whatever was the better investment for you.
I mean, you were an investment banker. You knew those ways and byways like the back of your hand. Why didn't you go straight? Why didn't you go legit?
For what? Yeah, okay, we could go places. We could go wherever we wanted, take any roads and pick up shipments and spend late nights just radio for what? Pennies on the dollar? For cotton clothes and TV dinners? Are you kidding me? We could have so much more. If
How do
only
you spend your nights these days, Asher? Or
I
how
mean,
did you spend your nights?
I was gonna say, pretty sure I'm gonna be spending the next couple of nights staring at the top of. Well, I was gonna save the van, but the cab here is a bit small. I talked with people. I what didn't I do? Food, sex, drugs, alcohol. I mean, it's the 1980s. Sky's the limit. But
But did you like any of those people?
no, God, no. So vapid, so driven by names and brands. These people are so acclimated to having nice things that it's just a matter of, oh, this is Versace. Oh, this is Gucci. Oh, I'm not a fan of the Dom Perignon. It's not quite the same vintage that I prefer. Rather than taking advantage of the fact that, damn, all this stuff is good, regardless of whose name is on it, whatever brand it is. Mel, I just got tired of fighting for scraps.
Nobody's called me Mel in a long time.
I
Kind of
mean,
miss it.
why do you think that is, Mel?
Because I could hang out with people. I could be. I could be somebody else. I could drink. I could eat. I could fuck. Just like the rest of them. And when it came down to it, it's like, you know, we would hang out, but just never really thought about sitting and talking with one single person, I guess. Like it never really came up.
You could never really be you.
I think I was too busy to be me. Think like you. Do you think you were actually enjoying yourself as Asher? As Ash?
I think we probably just let the scene fade there in
Mm-hmm.
darkness.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to. Let me see. Okay, so physical 1, so that goes up to D8. But you should go up to D6 just to keep within range.
And I see that there's this threat grid here.
Yeah, I mean, like I meant to like put down like the different things that we were facing, like what threats were what. So we did physical, and then like of course the blowing, or excuse me, the sabotage or the sniping of the
Oh.
van, and then like and then our werewolf melee content, whatever.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't
This is just
know.
just to keep track of like what we were talking about, like for everything. So
Okay.
for yeah, so physical, you know, whatever.
D6.
Okay, D6, and I do D8. 4.
5.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
So what social threat do we have?
Okay.
Line up the scene.
I think we're driving on a long stretch during a hot afternoon in the middle of a desert. and we hear a siren in the background.
Oh, fuck.
I think that we're getting caught in a speed trap.
Fuck. Who's driving?
Ooh. I don't think we have the rapport to where Amelia would allow for Asher to drive. So I think that Amelia is driving and has to deal with this local official.
Oh, boy.
I think the tension is that this guy is dirty.
Oh, shit. Do you think he would have found out about you?
I think that's part of the tension. Just he's dirty.
And he seems to recognize you even though he's trying to hide it?
He's starting to piece it together, and he's just trying to keep us here while calling the rest of his corrupt posse over
Oh, fuck.
to take me off your hands.
Oh, man. Okay. So do you think he escorts us back to the station in their town or whatever?
Ooh.
Or the side, you know what I mean, like side of the road or whatever?
I think it's just him for now. I think failure condition would be us getting pulled into the local small town. I think that's our failure state because then him and the rest of his crew are still there.
Hmm. So we can decide how this works. I mean, since you rolled so high, it's up to you. Excuse me. Do you want us to get to that particular? Excuse me.
Oh, I can.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're lining up the scene. So you determine what kind of scene you'd like to see, and we either enact it, like we role play it, or we, just kind of buzz ahead to the let's get the fuck away, and then we you know, have a conversation about it.
yeah. Let's shift it then. We pull into this small town, and this corrupt cop is looking over our pickup truck and is like piecing together two and two while we're just trying to get some food and gas.
Maybe he's also getting us on like not only the speed trap, but also to that. Oh, it like needs to be inspected. Something's like your tail light is
Yes.
out and shit. So
Yeah,
you
there
need
we
to
go.
come to our garage and get it done. Oh shit.
That's what it is. So we don't have the truck anymore.
Right.
Like truck has been taken in. We're waiting, and we can see them starting to
Looks.
patrol. Get ready. A couple of whispers going around in between.
Where do you think we are? Do you think we're stuck in the station, or you think we're?
I think we're in a
Oh
diner. We're not under arrest
no,
technically.
no. It's like wait here, and like enjoy some pie, folks, before we while we fix while you get your vehicle fixed, and then like you can be right on your way with a
And
ticket, of course, that you got to pay, but
I
that sort of
think
thing.
you're the one who picks up on. Actually, I don't know. Would you trust local officials?
Not really.
No. Okay. So we'll have you be the one who picks it up, and Asher's just chatting up the local staff
Of
and
course you
just
are.
yeah, of
Are you
course.
flirting with the waitress?
Oh, of
She's
course.
she's looking like like Amelia's looking like a little not jealous necessarily, but kind of like rolling her eyes, like oh my god,
You've
not
seen the
again.
song and dance a dozen
I've
times.
heard the song and dance. It does. I'm like when we have a conversation about this, like she's totally gonna go off on you. Anyway, yeah. So I think while you're flirting with the waitress, I think, and like we're going over some whatever breakfast for lunch or whatever. I think I'm looking past her through the window and I'm seeing like, oh, there's the sheriff. Oh, there's the the mechanic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And tell me, Lizzie, where was the bacon imported again? It's such a good quality bacon that it has that good
She's leaning over, like over the table to you. You can see down her shirt, I guess. But then, like, I'm like, you can see me out of the corner of your eye, like rolling my eyes, like, and then like you see my head like jut over to the
I
side.
oh, Lizzie, do you have anywhere quiet, out of sight?
And she's like, oh, really? Why? Would you like to go into the dark corner and have your
Something
way?
like that. Just really interested in how the breakfast is made, is all.
Oh, I can make your breakfast for you, hon.
Lead on.
There's really nobody here, you
Oh
know.
yeah, no, we are stealing this lady's car.
Okay. And like when you follow her, then like like of course um Amelia's gonna just like dump a 20 on the table, but then she's gonna follow you too.
We just see that Asher is like whispering sweet nothings and sort of like directs her into a particular direction where she scurries off excitedly, and Asher has her keys.
I was gonna knock her out, Asher. What?
These things require a lighter touch. Besides, someone unconscious would probably cause the deputies to actually give us a reason to chase.
That's true.
I'll
Thanks.
toss the keys to you.
Got him. And we look, and yeah, there's really nothing back here. So I mean, like aside from maybe the owner's car, and then like her car, and the owner's probably one of the people that's joined the like the group out there. So we kind of sneak out, and then we um, sneak into her car, um, and then pull away. And now we're on the road again. Yeah, thanks for that.
Of course, you treated me to lunch. It's the least that I could do. Such a shame that the country belle will remember this is the day she almost caught Asher Stone.
We didn't want her to catch Asher Stone, Ash. We were trying to
Right.
keep it close, keep it on the down low,
I'm
but you were out and
very good
about.
at keeping it on the down low.
I
You
bet.
know. Do you remember how many older brothers and dads you needed to save me from?
Yes, yes, I do. I remember very well.
All of them completely unsubstantiated. Those were very, very willing participants.
No, I know that they were willing participants, but you did it everywhere. It's exhausting. I mean, granted, you gave me a lot of practice, for sure. But I mean, why? I mean, like, did you really need to, I don't know, give every single female a thrill?
Everyone deserves to feel loved and attractive. I mean, how many boyfriends did I send your way? A little whisper in an ear here, a little nudge there, and go get her, pal.
They weren't interested in me, Ash. They did it because of you. They liked you.
You're saying that I just goaded people into hitting on you, and they did it because they wanted to impress me.
Yeah, yeah.
And you never told me.
No, why would I?
Why?
Why would I? Why? What would be the point of telling you, oh, well, you know, Gary said that you sent him along because he was so happy to have been noticed by you. Or, You know, when Joe had taken me out to prom and said he was glad to do you a favor.
Ugh.
What am I supposed to say?
No, it wasn't supposed to be like that. You were supposed to feel appreciated. You were supposed to be cared for. Well, that's
Oh,
really disappointing.
yeah, yeah, it was. Not on my own merits, if I had any, but because Asher Stone took notice.
Was that why you decided to part ways? You were too tired of people noticing Asher Stone and clamoring for attention?
I'm not the attention hog you are. I'm. I mean, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to be appreciated and I guess romanced. I mean, it seemed to be great for those chicks that you flirted with. But
Mm.
no, nobody ever thought of me.
Well,
Oh,
that's our
well,
mission.
you know what it is? Now I remember. Hmm. It was like the ones I might have talked to or might have been okay to kid with. They were afraid of me because I was more powerful than they were. And then the ones that were pretty good, you know, maybe maybe humored me being as good as them physically. They
Mm.
yeah, they didn't consider me a threat at all. Just
Mm.
got pushed aside. And they would go for the ones that you flirted with. The pretty, the tiny, the, oh, it's so wonderful that you're talking to me. Yeah.
Mm. Well, we're going to change
What?
that. We still have a number of miles between here and Alcatraz. So why not?
Why not what?
We're going to find if we're going to make sure you get a date. Before
What?
I'm locked away, I am going to wingman for you.
We have hundreds of miles to go, and your new goal is to get me a date.
Well,
Really?
clearly I'm not going to outrun you. I'm not going to get away. Are you kidding me? And survival. Like you said, you're the strongest thing in this car after all. People are intimidated by your presence, your physique, your skill with guns, knives, and everything in between.
Well, that's the thing I don't show on a first date.
Perfect. Imagine a mysterious woman fly by night operation. It'll be great. You'll see.
Okay, wait. Are you saying that like I should be doing one night stands? Is that what you're saying?
If that's what floats your boat, it's the 1980s.
Not really. Can I tell you something stupid?
I'm all ears.
No, it's really dumb.
How the
And she says it really quickly without looking at you while she's driving the car. My first time was done in the dark.
That's it.
Not at my request.
Oh. Ooh.
You don't know how that feels. You don't know how that feels, Ash. It's it's like being not a person, right? It's like being a body to satisfy and not much else.
Do you know who it was?
Oh, yeah. No, I know who it was. It's just. You just didn't need to see my face. We just needed to do the thing, get a little satisfaction, I guess. And, yeah, move on.
And what was the name of this upstanding citizen, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, this is in college. You probably didn't know him.
No, and enlighten me then. Absolutely no harm in sharing the name,
It was Artist Worthington.
then. Artis Worthington. Artis Worthington. I'll remember that name.
No, you won't. It's probably like, one of the people that you do banking for that
Really?
like moves the money or whatever that that they get from gambling, much less like, any kind of family business or whatever. It's like those
Mm.
rishi contacts that you used to make in school, which because you complimented their cravat or because they had the right shoes on.
They were vapid. They were nothing.
Definitely not one of the ones that I would have wanted to talk to, but we didn't do much talking.
Yeah. And I think we pull away from there, and there's just this spark of anger in Asher's eyes.
And she's just continuing to drive and yeah, just kind of like a resigned look on her face, just kind of like, yeah, hundreds of miles to go and no one worthwhile to to think about, you know.
Miles and bad memories. Yeah.
I
So,
mean, she kind of like tucked that shit away, but it was kind of interesting to have Ash here to kind of go over their not childhood, but yeah,
their
stuff.
approaches to romance and just the different perspectives and the consequences.
Yeah, pretty much. But Ash being made. Diner waitress's car. Okay, let's take our first break. Let's
Cool.
go to the 10 mark. Yeah. All right.
All right.
And I will
See
see
you
you
soon.
then. Okay. So, close out of that scene. And funnily enough, it's like, we've gotten to the point where we match die. Yay. So you've increased to D8 and I will remain at D8. So, um, go ahead and roll. I got a 1. What'd you get?
I got a 7.
Okay. Okay. 7. What do we think the next social threat is?
I think we trespass onto harpy territory.
Fuck.
And I think it's like the Macbeth witches, just like these three old like wizened hags. They're like, give us an offering of blood, or like all that other stuff. Uh,
Right.
and we're just trapped in this. I'm guessing this waitress drove like a station wagon, and we're just surrounded by these harpies that have us at magical gunpoint.
Yeah, it is not fun.
No.
But so how do you want to play this scene? Like, do you want to how do you get us out of it? I mean, like, because she's got no, you know, uh,
Offerings, bargains. I think that Asher is willing to make a deal or three.
you don't know what they're going to ask, Ash.
So, high stakes negotiation is kind of my job, or was anyway.
They're not going to want money.
Do you still have that locket?
Yeah, why? Fine. And she will proceed to reach into her like turtleneck tank top, whatever the hell it is, and like kind of reach under, and she'll like undo the clasp, and then like she'll pull it out. And what does it look like?
I think it is a very detailed little egg with a fleur de lis on it, made
Mm-hmm.
of silver.
Whose picture is in it?
Known as
Will I get this back?
we'll see how the bargain goes.
Fuck. It's the only thing I got left.
Don't worry. I know exactly how valuable it is.
All right. And she hands it over to you.
And he'll step out. Ladies, it's such a pleasure to see you. Welcome us here, kind hosts.
Silver tongue as silver does. What
Uh,
do you have to offer us?
hmm. What do you have on offer?
Your life? Your passage?
Hmm. Do you offer revenge?
They all kind of like chatter amongst themselves about this. They look like they're in their whatever dark clothing or whatever. They look like they're flapping around like birds
As
as they
harpies do.
talk. Yeah. And they come back and stare at you.
So you would stay here with us, but we would exact revenge on your behalf?
If that's the cost, I think we can make that work, but I'm going to need for you to do a little pickup on delivery, if you know what I mean.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Clarify.
Let's get the main things out of the way first. And he will take off his gold pinky ring, his Santos de Cartier gold watch, his gold chain link bracelet. To each of you, I provide spoils one in blood, something suitably dark for each of you. I think this gold wristwatch will go lovely with your sharp amber eyes, ladies. Pinky ring may be a bit tight on the talons, but I can assure you that it will not go unnoticed when you're preying upon people. And the gold chain link bracelet will only draw attention to your marvelous bosom. Yes. Surely these are enough to garner passage.
Worthless. Worthwhile. To whom may it concern? You give us things. You do not give us offerings.
Ah, but I do give you offerings. This gold pinky ring I took off of a smuggler that was trying to scalp off the top of our gains. I was personally there when they spilled his blood Colombian style. This gold wristwatch I took from a man at an estate auction after I managed to buy out his entire company and leave his entire family destitute. 3 generations in one go, might I add. And this gold chain link necklace is, in fact, the last memory that I have of a dear relative. So, no, ladies, I did not get this off the shelf at your latest K's Jewelers. These are all offerings that I have earned. And now I offer as payment for passage.
The tallest of them will smile, a very toothy smile, and kind of like, clasp their hands, talons intertwined, and say, "Fair. Give thee here."
And he'll step up, proud as can be, and place them in her talon.
She takes them and she says, "Passage for you and the car."
Ah, ladies, that's not going to work for me. I need my escort. As you can tell, silver tongued as I am, I'm a mite bit powerless when it comes to overpowering people. And well, that large beast in the driver's seat is something more akin to a skilled worker. Surely you can count her as cargo, or at least a part of the car.
They will turn as one to Amelia and say, "Is that how you think of yourself? As cargo? Sentient as you are?"
Yes.
I think the one in the back will kind of slap a talon like in your face, like maybe about like a centimeter like away from your mouth. "Silence. Do you want Amelia to ruin it for you?"
Oh, do it.
Yeah, she kind of like, like considers this for a bit and sees you're gesticulating, but she kind of gets this angry frown on her face. "You weren't listening to a damn thing I was saying last night, were you? I'm not baggage. I'm not your skilled worker, Ash. No, I'm not."
Fine. Damn people who care too much about dignity. Damn it. Fine, harpies. Then take my sight.
What?
I'm not going to be driving anywhere, and I figure that my good friend, my fellow relative, is going to be fine escorting me as so.
No. No,
So,
no,
ladies,
I take it back. No, 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 don't take his sight, please. Please.
Reconsiders. Choices and consequence.
she made her choice, ladies. Now back to the bargaining table. We haven't finished negotiating.
They will turn to Amelia and surround her.
What do you have to offer, child?
And Asher's gonna kind of just try to break in. No, we're talking. We're negotiating. She's not a part of this.
She is speaking. She is saying she is her own individual. Your passage paid for you and the vehicle. Now she needs to pay for her passage. What do you have to offer, child?
I'll toss the necklace back to her.
This. It is the last thing that I have of true value to me. They will, put out their taloned hand for it. And she will put it in their palm. The palm. But then the one, the one harpy will kind of draw back before she can.
No, you lie. This is not the only thing you have. Not the only valuable. Not the most valuable.
And she kind of looks like, confused for a second. And then she looks stricken and then says, well, she tosses her head back and goes, fuck. Fine. And she reaches in, to her shirt again. And then it's not a necklace, but it's something small, something that looks like it's a valuable metal of some sort, and she will hand it to them. And the one who reached out for the locket accepts this in her palm and closes it up before you can see exactly what she's holding. And she says,
Satisfactory. You have made your offering. You both and the vehicle may pass.
and then, Mel will sullenly sit in the car, look at you, and, jerk her head and, get in.
Asher will look confused for a moment and say,
Get in!
there's that other thing about the revenge bit, ladies, that I wanted to talk with you about.
What kind of revenge do you want, youngling?
The suffering, a curse, the best you got on offer, in fact.
To whom?
To be disclosed. If you'll follow me this way, ladies, I think he's going to take them aside to talk.
Okay.
And whatever the terms are, they agree on it, but he seems to walk back none the worse for wear.
Yeah. I mean, and Amelia's looking real tense, over by the, in the car, doing the thing on the wheel and just come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Drive as fast as you can.
Yeah, she slams on the gas and then just kind of, they part as if they're not even living beings, just doors, and then they just part.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see the the tracks and the dust from us getting the fuck out of Dodge at this point.
Yeah.
And we're back on the road.
Oh, that is the worst kind of speed trap, dear God.
Yeah.
What the hell did you give up back there? What was more valuable than Nona's token?
She doesn't want to say anything for a little bit. She keeps driving. Won't look at you.
All right, fair
and then
enough.
mention out in the middle of the silence, she'll say suddenly, "Do you remember when we graduated?"
Yeah, it was raining that day, but yeah.
Yeah. And it was Nona had something to do, and she gave us some money so this way we could go out and celebrate, I guess. Have dinner, drink, whatever we wanted to do. It was nice. It was nice spending time with you. You you looked really good. Um, in your new suit and such.
Yeah. She said that would be good for interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Wore that suit for years.
Do you remember did you remember Nono's cufflinks?
Yeah, I do. They had this like falcon pattern on them. Really good workmanship. They wore them all the time. I was kind of taken aback that they passed them down to me.
Yeah. You did you did really good, and you looked really good wearing all of that.
What'd she give you?
She gave me some earrings, which were nice, but just too fine. I mean, like I was in training at that time. When the hell was I gonna wear these damn diamond earrings?
Fair.
But do you remember where Nono's cufflinks were after that night?
Uh, I I took them off for something. I think I gave them to you and said keep an eye on them. And no. Did I take them back from you or no? All this time?
Well, I lost them,
Oh.
but no, I did get them back.
Oh.
But it was because you love them so much. She let you hold them after he died, and kind of, you knew that they were coming to you, and you were so proud and happy when you got them. But then I had lost them, and I found out who had them. And I traded off the earrings so I could get them back. Because you love those cufflinks.
But I never got the cufflinks back.
I kind of put them among your things, thinking that you would find them, but as soon as you were in the business, it was like you got swept up in a bunch of other things. The watches, the pins, better cufflinks. And you never asked for them back.
No.
Anyway, I held on to them because I remember how much you really loved them.
Well, thanks. And I'm sure if Nona knew that you used them to make sure that we were able to make it past those things, I think he'd say it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah. That's why, well, I guess they ended up meaning more to me than they did to you after all.
Well, yeah. Yeah, they kind of did. I'm glad you kept them. Knowing me, I probably would have melted them down and turned them into something gaudy.
Yeah, your taste hasn't improved.
Blame it on the company I kept.
I do. I do blame it on the company you kept. But you wanted to get ahead. You wanted to be successful. Whatever that meant for you. I'm just sorry that I couldn't meet that criteria, I guess.
You chose not to dive in too deep. You wanted to stay free, and you did. After all, one of us is on the right side of the law, and the other one is on their way to Hypermax.
But you're now turning against the family, and they're not going to let that go, which is why we're in this setup in the first place. Although, now I'm starting to wonder. No one has checked in with me. I have the coded messages, or at least I have them ready, but no one has actually contacted me. They know how, and they haven't. And I have to wonder why.
I think there is a chance for Asher to provide any number of excuses, but I think here he's going to keep his mouth shut and just let the doubt and the trepidation creep in.
Did you even care that I went in a different direction?
You asked that before.
I don't know, maybe I'm insane, maybe I expect a different answer.
Yes, I was sorry that I didn't have someone that I could trust at my side. You were the person that I trusted with everything. I knew that if I got into any sort of trouble, I could trust on Amelia to pull me out. And it got to the point where I thought I could supplement that. I thought if I paid enough people or threw the right smile at the right person or said the right words, that I wouldn't need trust. Greed would cover enough of it. Greed was good, I thought. Everyone could be manipulated through that. And I was wrong. And here I am, falling back on the only person that I can trust.
Maybe I was wrong too. Maybe trust is a lie. even for the right side. And maybe it is about the money after all.
I don't know about that.
No?
No. I mean, it's pretty convenient that you were the one who was chosen to be the escort after all. If only there was somebody who had connections and a means of talking to people and a lot of money in offshore accounts that could have pulled a couple of strings beforehand. But that's insane. No one could have done such a thing. You're the only one I can trust, after all.
Are you going to ask me not to take you to Hypermax?
No. And you're going to take me there. Gauche as the outfits may be, it is the safest place I can be. It'll take some force of nature, something truly supernatural to break me out of there. And that means no 2-bit gangster from Jersey is going to be able to get me there, no matter the size of the family.
Unless the family's been dabbling.
That's the case, and they got a couple of stregas, some ladies from the old country. Oh, I should have been dead hours ago.
That's true. They would have smuggled a curse on your ass like as soon as you got in cuffs.
So no. And you're definitely not going to offer to help me skip out of the country or something. You have too much of a life to live, no matter how busy you are. We have to get you that date after all.
You're still on about that?
I'm just saying. Hundreds of miles. There has to be at least a couple of suitors that we can introduce you to. Maybe a guard at Hypermax. You can visit me, tell me all the juicy details.
The reason they're guards at Hypermax is because they are guards first.
Big, strong, stoic, manly men. I can see the appeal. People who wouldn't be intimidated by the brawn, by the skill. If anything, maybe you can finally stop being a courier across this wasteland. Place to settle roots.
I cannot believe you're trying to fix me up with some guard at Hypermax.
A theoretical guard at Hypermax that matches all of your criteria. Man,
Not
we haven't even met
necessarily.
the guy.
Really, what is my criteria, Ash?
That's kind of a hard one, and I'm gonna have to take a pass on that for
now. Yeah.
I'm just
so
saying.
You don't know. You don't know. No.
Even if you don't find someone there, maybe you just decide to stay on the West Coast anyway. I'm just saying. It might mean that my sister doesn't need to have to go across a dangerous wasteland filled with harpies and werewolves and all the other stuff that we don't need to deal with in the big city. Maybe my eyes have been opened. Who knows? I'm just an investment banker.
Where's part of that money come from anyway? Occult futures?
I mean, if you're actually asking, there is a lot of money in ritual components.
Shit.
Some of the incense can be harvested. There are futures trading there.
Amazing. And she's very sarcastic when she says that. Oh. If only I could believe that that would be something that you could do without any trading off of your name or your looks.
Magic?
No. Getting me a date. Without them trying to impress you or do what you ask because you are Asher Stone?
The likelihood of that in the middle of this nowhere land? Probably pretty high. No one really cares who I was. No one cares who I am. Maybe I could be a Cyrano and I can just whisper things for you to say.
Oh my God.
So
No,
you do remember French classes.
You couldn't hide in a bush even if I threw you in it. You were the first one to always want to read the play out loud.
Such a good line. He has that entire monologue about the nose thing.
You are such a showman. Maybe that's why I'm better in the dark and stealthy. Somebody's got to be out in the open to distract people.
We all have our talents. And all talent is applied interest. You have it too. You just gotta try. Let go. Be free for a bit. Be who you want to be.
She sniffs at that. Nona saw that I was good with, well, physical things, and she kind of flexes her bicep. I don't think she knew what I really liked.
Yeah.
She got me gun lessons for a year. But you know what I asked her for?
Violin classes?
No. With these fingers? Come on.
You're right. You're more of an alto saxophone sort of gal.
No.
What was it?
Dance. I at least wanted to try. But she kind of laughed and said, no, you don't have the figure for it. They'd never take you. I would practice in between target practice. I would practice doing the grand jumps just for fun.
Ballet?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
No, you didn't.
And what's stopping you from trying it out in between bits of work?
Driving this hulking cars for you, that's one. Keeping your ass protected for the other.
Both things that are coming to an end soon. And then you'll be free.
I can only hope.
Then what'll stop you?
It's terrible to say that I don't know what I would do. If not this.
Yeah. All the more reason for you to try then, sis.
That's another thing about you that's really annoying. Just willing to be whatever. And thinking it's so easy for other people to do the same.
I can't convince you to live your life any different.
No.
It's up to you to decide whether it's important enough. And if you do it, then I'll encourage you. And if you don't do it, I'll still love you.
She doesn't know what to say to that. She kind of just looks away, maybe out through the windshield, and just kind of scoffs. Unconditional, huh?
That's family. Although I don't think most families have had a road trip quite as eventful as this one.
No. No, they haven't.
Had I known it was going to be this much of a hassle, I wouldn't have bothered Nona as much about it. Kept on giving her postcards about the places I wanted us to go. Like those cheesy, like, wish you were here, and it was for the Grand Canyon and Mount Rushmore, back when it was still in one piece.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what family is. Being trapped in a car that we stole, going to a place that we don't want to go, and having awkward conversations because there's nothing on the radio. And look, we both came out of it alive. Ain't that grand?
Never-ending optimism for you, isn't it?
Back when I was first getting started with the family, doing the whole investment thing, they gave me a bunch of terrible stocks, a bunch of terrible pieces of land that weren't getting paid. And I lost a lot.
And somehow you kept your job and your head?
Oh, yeah. But I lost a lot of dignity. I ate a lot of crow. I bled a lot.
So why did you keep going?
Greed. It's true. Don't laugh. It was greed. Greed for life, greed for money, love, knowledge, anything, everything. Because I didn't want to have the audacity to go and tell Nona that I was going to hit it big and then fail and have to come crawling back. And then have her be smug about it? Hell no. So yeah, I bled and I wept. And I did whatever they told me to do. And eventually, it worked. It's not optimism. It's the sheer fact that what else are we going to do? Give up? Lay down and die? Life is for living, no matter the pain.
Okay. No truer words. From a pain in the ass.
Right back at you.
And the scene fades out with the laughter still coming from the car. So, alrighty.
Are we both at D10s, or is
Yes, it is, because I mean, I want to move up after 2, and then you would raise anyway because you won, so that's a D10 as well. Give me a second. Okay, got it. 8. What'd you get?
5.
Okay.
Physical threat. We've had too much of this talking and heartfelt nonsense. We need 80s action movie violence. What do you got?
Need to blow some shit up, I guess. Let's see what else. Oh, you know what? Let's not make it about people chasing us. What if we are running into a physical threat of a storm? One of the rolling soulstorms that since we're so close and yet still so far, like we're getting into that region that the rolling soulstorms are just horrific in this area, and they come on quick, and then maybe we're driving in whatever weird jalopy that we managed to find or steal.
We're like 2 cars beyond the waitress's car.
That sucker died before. I mean, she wasn't getting paid enough to get this thing fixed, whatever. God, and maybe we're in an SUV of sorts, or whatever, for that particular period. Big ass Land Rover or something.
A Land Rover, a Jeep.
There you go. Oh, even worse for a rolling soul storm. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Fucking A. All right. So anyway,
All
we're
right.
driving. We're driving, and then like, the first sign is usually like a weird kind of smell. It's
Hmm.
like it's half rain, half lightning.
Ozone. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And it's sharp. Like all of a sudden it's like it stings our nostrils. And then we look to the side, maybe? Where do you think it comes from? Do you think it comes from the back, like from behind us, or you think it's coming from the side? Excuse me. Mm.
I think it's coming from below.
What?
I think that their souls coming from the underworld in like a
Ah,
rising wave
got it.
behind us.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god.
It's like Return of the King, where he shows up with like the old kings of men.
Mmm. Got it. Okay. Oops. Behind us. I think I look in the rearview mirror if I'm still driving or what have you. And, oh
What's that
shit.
smell?
It's trouble. Look.
Oh,
Look behind us.
drive faster.
No, I know. And she punches it, and like, like we're trying to beat the storm, and like it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like watching a tsunami, like, come upon us on land, but this is a bunch of souls.
So
What
we just
happens to us, like, if we get caught in the soul storm?
reliving the memories of those caught in it. Like I think if there's a big war or turmoil, like all those emotions just get gathered up and we inhabit them for a bit.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I think, is there any protection for it?
I would have to think so. Um hmm, maybe yeah, I think there are like people who live out here in the wastes, like homesteaders, and they have to have some wards against it.
Okay.
So maybe we stumble onto like uh an old farm. The people are in the basement battened down and we're just desperately like trying to find shelter in their home maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe we come upon like a shed, like a backyard shed or something like that looks like it has warding on it, but we don't know if it's gonna work.
It's the best we got. Otherwise we're stuck in a jeep.
Yep. So I think we clamber out of the Jeep, we see the backyard shed with the warding, and then we're like jumping into it as fast as we can. And then like maybe not a minute afterwards, like, we hear the cacophony, we hear the screaming, we hear the, like the plaints and the cries and the just like all the sounds, and none of the sounds that are human, and it's all mixed in together, and we're like, maybe we're huddled in the far corner of the shed. Like, I don't know, like, she dove for for the floor. She dove for the corner and the floor, and she has her hands over her ears, but she can still hear it because it's in her bones.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Ash went.
He's probably hiding under like a work table and just pressed against the side, desperately hoping that this storm doesn't like tear through the shed itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a shed, so it's not going to have as much protection as a house or like, the basement. So it's like it literally goes on for minutes, but it feels like forever as we're like prone or whatever position we're in, and we're still, because it's either that or shiver ourselves to death because it's just so frightening. And yeah, maybe because it's a shed, maybe we do feel like there are signs of it tearing and groaning and just feeling like maybe it's going to go give at any minute, like it's going to come up off the ground and it's going to, leave us unprotected.
And then in that groaning, there are bits of emotion and the anguish that kind of pour in, just a trickle.
Yeah.
And it's just ruination. People who came out this way and hoped that life would be different. Wars that were fought. Travelers who weren't able to make bargains with harpies, or people who were killed by werewolves or biker gangs or anything else. It's just a place that traps this human pain and it echoes forever.
I think the worst of it for um, Amelia is the screaming of drowning regret, not having done something, having done something, but it was the wrong thing, or just not trying.
For Asher, the worst is the screams of pain and revenge. The people that he stepped on, the lives that he's crushed for his own gain, and that it all went to waste.
After the soulstorm stops and the shed goes still, I think we're both on the floor, maybe. I don't know if we're near each other. I mean, she's just looking up at the top of the shed, seeing kind of slivers of in between the seams, kind of shining through. And she's panting as if she's run miles. And just crying, how you have silent cries, where it's just you feel the tears leak out from the sides of your eyes, and you're just I'm alive. I survived. But why? Is Ash nearby?
He is white knuckle gripping that craftsman's table, just still. The storm has passed, but he's still in it, so to speak.
Ash, you okay?
No, no, not really.
Okay.
What the hell?
Yeah. Quite probably. She blinks and just still panting.
It can't be real. It wasn't. It 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 it, it can't be. It was something that just messes with our heads.
Real or not, it messed enough with our heads that we are physically exhausted. At least I feel that way. Ash, I don't think I can drive tonight.
Okay then. And he'll rub his eyes with the heels of his hands. Okay.
Okay.
He will dust himself off. Help you up.
She will try to take your hand, but she can't get up off of the floor.
It's okay. I'll wait. And he'll just hold her hand and wait.
She's still crying. So worried about whether I was good enough or attractive enough. Just want to try. But it's ridiculous, you know? You just know. There's sometimes you just can't talk to certain people. You just can't reach out and ask for help or feel supported. You just have to do it, get through it, and move on. Just like Nona said.
And suck it up and do it, regardless of the pain.
Yeah. And you feel the hand in your hand gripping you tighter, almost painfully so, but it's not like she's trying to hurt you. It's just because
Strong.
yeah. And she also needs all the help that she can get. She feels like she's frozen on the floor.
And Ash will wait.
Eventually, she raises herself up on one elbow, still holding onto your hand. You're going to be too stiff to sit in the car. Stand like that.
Who says that we're going in the car?
Where are we going to go?
There's a perfectly good house right there.
Family might be coming out soon.
Exactly. And I think we kind of pull away as they stumble out of the shed, and Asher waves over to the family, and we see him weakly gesticulating to him and Amelia and the family, kind of confused, but helping them into the house.
Okay. Now, what's supposed to happen is like you keep increasing or whatever till you get to D20, and whichever threat lands on the D20, then that's what we do as our final scene.
Mm.
But I mean, like, given the time frame, because I think I only said like 6:30 to 9:30,
Mm-hmm.
then like we can wrap it up with one more scene, so we have time for stars and wishes and such.
Okay.
As if we rolled a D20.
Okay.
So we can just totally go to the D20 right now, actually.
We can jump into D20 then.
Pick up the D20. We're just going to roll off, see which one wins. Give me a second. I got to find my D20.
I rolled a crit.
You did not.
I did.
All right, well, I rolled a 6, so.
I will roll again just to make sure. That is a 5, so I can make the final confrontation a physical one.
You don't have to. I mean, like, our lives are in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you got sold out.
Yeah, I did.
I think we're at the cusp of arriving at Alcatraz, and the local cops have like brought you aside, and they're like, hey, yeah, good job, thanks for bringing him in, but you just piece together that these are not the people you're supposed to be meeting with.
Right.
The handoff is non-standard.
What'd you imagine? You imagine that the doors are closing in on Alcatraz on you, and then she's like turning and noticing, and she's closed out.
I think we've been separated. I think that there is an armored truck that is carrying Asher away to Alcatraz, and I think they're taking you to a separate location, and they're going to make sure you're dealt with.
I think that's a slow-mo scene of like, she turns, realizes that it's the wrong truck. It's the wrong conveyance. And she realizes it too late as the doors close on you, and she's screaming at you. You see her screaming face as it looks like there are people behind her getting ready to grab her. And she sees your face before the doors close, and she's nabbed.
I think the last look you see on Asher's face is satisfaction. What do you do when you're faced with these people who are trying to take you away? These people impersonating officers, these people who have no doubt kidnapped your brother and taken him away to be dealt with.
Oh, she reacts. She takes out, like, the couple that were behind her in a kick spin, and like, pretty much like crashes her boots on their heads, and yeah, makes it a little permanent.
And you feel energized, revitalized, moving with a speed and agility that is a bit unfamiliar to you.
And I think she like, like does the patting of their bodies, and like, will take anything that she can grab, which is essentially ammo, and maybe what's the word?
A gun?
Well, guns, obviously. Ammo, guns, like anything that she can do to supplement her supply. And she's also going to check for badges or any kind of ID.
Mm-hmm. You find a bounty posting for the hit.
Yeah, I do. Fuck.
It's on a beeper because it's the 80s.
Yeah. Goddamn beepers, pagers, oh shit. You fuckers. Okay, so yeah, she takes their vehicle and then, like, proceeds to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where do you imagine they take you? Not to Alcatraz. You think they take you away?
I think there's a confrontation on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh my god.
I think that there's just a crash there,
Mm-hmm.
and you see Asher kind of trying to fight off one of the guys, like he's holding a gun, but it's absolutely wrong.
God damn it, Asher. Oh. And, like, you immediately see the guy, like, go that, and then, like, splurt, because, like, she shot him in the head.
Oh, thank God.
And she's trying to get to you, but there's, like, like, it's kind of like a video game, like obstacles and such. Like, she's close enough that she can do the gun. Maybe it's a long ranger, like a rifle or something like that. But it's like she's not close enough to just nab you and grab you back.
I think that there is a bit of a melee, and one of them manages to get hands on Asher near the edge of the bridge.
She's closer. She takes out the two more that try to engage her in melee as they're trying to grab her again. Maybe she shoots, like, the other one in the head as she's trying to get to you. That's her focus. I mean, like, everything else is all peripheral. Everything else is just experience, trying to get from one obstacle to another and then get closer to you.
I think there's a struggle. Asher looks and sees that you're fighting your way towards him. Lingering look. And then he pushes the guy off the bridge with him.
Screaming. Screaming begins even before she gets to the edge of the bridge to see you fall. What are you thinking about as you fall?
I'm thinking of a bargain that I made about a week ago. And we flash back to Asher talking with a trio of harpies. So, revenge in exchange for staying here. Now I have a place to be in about a week, but if you can wait. And then we flash back to the present, where a trio of harpies take apart the guy that was holding on to Asher and grab Asher and fly him back up to the bridge.
Goddamn bastard, you charmed them too.
Not necessarily. And they just look expectantly. When we return, we will feast.
Ash, what did you do?
I made a deal.
What kind of a deal?
Revenge. You're worth more than what you are in the dark. And that bastard's going to know. For certain.
So long ago.
But he hurt you. He hurt the one person that I trusted in the whole world. And he will suffer. Oh, they're going to make sure of that. He reaches to his side and he tosses you a card.
What's this?
You found it on one of the hitmen. It's weird. They had all these offshore bank accounts written in a bunch of different names that you really don't recognize. But damn, if they didn't just use your birthday as the pin for all those accounts. Damn, it's such a weird coincidence that you found it.
Ash. What does this mean?
It means you get to live your life without any regrets. You don't need to worry about your job keeping you busy anymore. It means you can dance with whoever you want.
You're gonna have to go back. Or they're gonna take you when they come back, aren't they?
They're making a pass, right? Overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really nice of them to let me say goodbye like this. But I think that's about the limit of it.
I love you, idiot.
Love you too, sis. Name your first kid after me.
And is this where you think that they snatch you up?
Yeah. Without any chance for further commiseration, they just snatch him up like a golden eagle grabbing a goat and just...
Yeah.
And he's laughing. He's wincing from the pain because they're tearing into his shoulders, but he's laughing manically.
And she's standing on the bridge and
actual like police sirens closing in on both sides of the bridge to figure out what the heck is happening.
she will tuck the card into her shirt. And then she will take a few souvenir guns, whatever, and make her way out. Stealthy as you please. Doing what she does best. And, yeah, she fades as the sirens are, screaming closer. She's taking advantage of all the noise, all the smoke, and, yeah, making her way off.
where do we see her? And how long ago later, or how much later do we see her?
This is an indeterminate amount of time later, but I mean, she's still young. Obviously, this is not like too far along.
Sometime later, says the title card.
Sometime later, yeah. And she's in an apartment, not huge or anything, but very nicely appointed. And she's wearing a dress. Um, her muscle tone is like not, not as much as before, but you don't get rid of like, being cut after a few months. Um, but she looks good. Like, like she's wearing things that are flattering, and she pulls out a box where she picks up the cufflinks from it and kind of stares at them, and then just says thank you, and then puts the cufflinks back in her cupboard wherever she had them. And she gets a phone call on the landline. My God, it's like I don't remember what era we are in. It's
Yeah,
like,
landline.
and she kind of smiles as she's like, talking to the person on the other end. It's like, okay, uh, 8 o'clock. Yeah, that sounds good. Um, yeah, I I don't mind Dom Perignon, but maybe we can try some Veuve Clicquot. And she puts the phone down and you know slips on some heels, a nice jacket for the evening, kind of looks around her apartment, and, her eyes fall onto a little picture that she has on her desk. Looks like a graduation picture. She and Asher were both younger, in the gowns, smiling and waving at the camera. And she will kind of blow a kiss at it, and then she will leave to go on a date.
And credits roll.
Yeah. My gosh. Thus
There we
endeth our
go.
playtest.
There we go. That felt like a good, like,
Oh man,
schlocky 80s flick. That
pretty much.
I liked it.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Well, it was like a very strange 80s kind of flick because like we included a whole bunch of weird elements in it, which I loved. I played Heartsu Wulin this morning, and it's like we included some fantastical stuff in it, but like it wasn't half as fantastic in nature as this because of all the things we went through. Oh my gosh, that was great. Jesus. Woo.
I'm
So,
always happy that you're able to ground like the emotional qualities in the scene, especially dealing with the you found what the game was, which was her dealing with the self-esteem and Asher having way too much esteem. Um and just playing off of that was fun.
that was
Es-
so much fun.
Especially since at the end he did like help her change her life in a sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of like weird and lopsided because it's like, she didn't seem like the high end type of chick, but I mean, like, we don't know how they were raised. They could have been, and she just kind of rebelled against it for a little while.
I think
And
just having she never had the chance to be.
yeah,
Like he was talking about how like they had to scrounge for stuff and he was tired of it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
now she can wear all the dresses and do all the dancing that she wants.
right, right. No, I mean, wow, damn. Oh man, dangerous, dangerous. And who knows? We don't even know whether, like, maybe the continuation is it's like, well, maybe she gets embroiled back into the family and she doesn't know it. Who knows?
Like the money wasn't entirely clean and she has to deal with her dead brother's legacy. Like,
Exactly. We don't know.
no, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So any stars and wishes, of course. Like, it sounded like you were starting.
Yeah, I was doing stars like
Okay.
wishes. Hmm. I don't know. The back and forth on the die rolls feels strange. Like
It was
it
very sparse because it's like, it just determined what kind of scene you can have, but with no real parameters within, which is fine. Because, I mean, again, for somebody like me who is used to these kind of story games, I'm okay with it because you can play. My imagination has great capacity for play.
for me, it's
Hmm.
the resolution of how a scene goes
Hmm.
that kind of have you played Fiasco before?
No.
Fiasco, there's a certain set of light and dark die.
Mm.
So one person frames the scene, and like their character is in the scene. They're the main person in that scene,
Yeah.
and as they're running through, um, they can either push for one of the other players can push forward either a light die or a dark die. A light die means that the scene works out well for them. A
Oh, okay.
dark die means that the scene works out poorly for them. And
Right.
that kind of directs how that person is playing through the scene.
Gotcha.
And then at the end, like you roll the dice and it helps you determine like how your ending plays out.
Interesting. Oh my, that's great. I mean, I can see the capacity for doing that, like depending on how high you roll on your particular die, maybe that could help determine, like, how the scene turns out, or maybe the distance between, like, the difference between the two. Like, if you,
Something like that, like that could be fun because I know that you sort of rigged it so that they're not too far apart, but I
yeah.
think
So there's a range, yeah.
giving like a narrative catch up mechanic to help balance that out
Yeah.
would also be good because I like the fact that there was a balance in like these are social threats, these are physical threats.
Yeah. And we interpreted it like however the heck we wanted to, especially in the framework of the setting that we created and the dangers that we created. So, I mean, it could vary, and that's where if it's hemmed in too much, then there's a limitation because I liked the idea that you could not only deal with the threat itself within the scene, you also had the choice of like not doing that, just narrating what happened in the threat and then dealing with the fallout or the aftermath,
Mm-hmm.
in a conversation, which is, I think, just as valuable
Yeah.
because you need those kind of like downtime moments kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, like, no, I had fun as I always do with you.
Oh, thank you.
No, I mean, absolutely. Your characters are just always so full of presence and life, and just like, it's a great foil for me, who I do have a tendency to be very serious when I play my characters. I can't think of a time except for one where I ever played a humorous character.
Oh,
Like a truly humorous character.
I mean,
Usually there was like, some kind of like bad backstory, like, behind like even the ones that were smiling a lot. Um, but no, I mean, like, the only one single instance that I can recall of a character that was very humorous,
mm,
and that was in what I would consider a humorous game. Point being is, it's like, I like playing off of you because, again, you bring like such an energy to it that I feel like I can kind of wrap around that and be very like yin yang, like a good back and forth with you. And like, this was a really wild setting. I mean, like, this wasn't like a usual prescribed or, straight, like, this is what it is kind of thing. You went 80s, but you also went weird west,
I
but only
want to
because we were going
see a
west.
I want to see a movie like this.
No, it's so
I want to
good.
see
So
like oh darn, what was it? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but Weird West.
God. Oh my God. This is so much fun. I mean, we had such, like, such a great relationship as brother and sister, and then it was just like, family resentment. I mean, like,
We fell into that real quick.
yeah.
Like it went well.
Yeah. No, it was so good. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for this. In the let's see. In the safety tab, if you look at the very, very top, there's the feedback form link. So go ahead and make your feedback on that form when you get a chance, preferably after this, so then you can remember your comments that you want to make about the game and how it played,
Hmm.
you know. And then this way, Mare has some stuff to add to her, um, yeah, to
Yeah.
her list, to her database about it. Because this was a lot of fun, as always, and you know I enjoy playing with you and getting so much out of, yeah, such short amount of time. It never feels like, oh my god, as we're slogging through this game, oh my god. You know, it always feels like, damn, we're done already?
We had
Shit.
to shorten it. Do
I
you know?
know, I know. We didn't even get through the whole, like, you know, all the way through the D20. We only had like maybe one more scene that we could have done before we hit the D20, but it's fine because it worked out the way it did.
Hmm.
You know, or we would have had to hard frame, like, you know, okay, we're narrating this, we can't role play
Yeah.
it. But oh my gosh, thank you so much. This was great. I
No,
enjoyed myself so much.
thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you very much, Mike. You have a wonderful evening, and I will hopefully see you very, very soon.
See ya.
Bye.